Welcome to the What Trends podcast. I am recording a bunch of episodes, so if you're seeing me with the same outfit and the same look, that's just me recording a bunch of episodes. So, welcome to the What Trends podcast. This is a top podcast that topples your TBR. And today we're going to talk about one of my favorite niche romance subgenres, and it's Mafia Romance. I have to tell you, I love a morally great hero. Personally, in my personal life, would not like to be involved in the mafia. I would like to preface this. I would like the trope that I'm talking about, I would like not to happen to me. But I love reading these books. And they're like my problematic favorites. Um, I've been struggling with reading this year. Just a lot of doom scrolling, a lot of feeling anxious and feeling just like nothing is capturing my attention. I feel like I've been so much into Instagram and TikTok and Threads and social media. It's been difficult just to be able to sit still and just read a book, let alone listen to a book and not do anything around it. So I feel like I need to multitask. I need like fidgety. And so Mafia romances are actually working for me. I actually find that Mafia romances provide this like edgy, morally gray hero who's like, an alpha and just like terrible person for the outside, but such a nice, like, ooey gooey cinema roll enough sense of it onto the heroine. And the heroine's always fighting and just like pushing and pulling. So this summer, I'm planning to send you with lots of mafia recommendations from surprise pregnancy to arranged marriage to forced marriage. And today we have Captive Captor. So this is a kidnapping. The mafia hero kidnaps a heroine and she ends up falling in love with him. And it's just totally problematic. I understand this. This is Stockholm Syndrome. But these books makes it so much more interesting that I'm like, yes, give me more. So let's hit your recommendation. You have 5 books to recommend, but if you want more books to recommend, if you want more books for this list, come to the website, whatchromanceblog.com, search Mafia, and you'll actually see all Mafia Romance's niche topics. So I have plenty of recommendations. But in this one, it's Captive Captor book recommendations. So let's get to the recommendations. The first book that I recommend is Dante by Sadie Kincaid. Dante is basically the top leader of a mafia. He's like the big guy on the planet, and one of his guys actually stole money from him, and he's looking for him. And the guy happens to be brother with the heroine. Happens to be the heroine's brother. And she's like, I don't know him. He came to biting on my money. And it turns out that the guy offered his sister as collateral. So Dante decides that he's gonna take her captive to see if he can find the brother. And she captures him, and she's like, what am I supposed to do? What is happening here? And she's feisty. She's not happy about it. She's been trying to like start a new life. She's trying to like get away from all this world. And she just falls in love with Dante, and it's just steamy. It's just so good. It's actually like there's a lot of tension. There's a lot of tension about her like being like, "Well, I shouldn't fall in love with this guy. Like he's horrible," and yet she's like falling in love. This book is available. The audio is available from the library. I think Cincinnati Public Library actually has it if you have that non-resident library card, so you can listen to audiobook. But the book is available in Kindle Unlimited, so you can listen to it. Sadie Kincaid has plenty of mafia romances. So if you like this kind of book, you should definitely try some more of those books. All right, now we're going to go to Italy. We're going to go to 2 book recommendations. You got Mafia Mistress and Mafia Madman by Mila Finelli. So these books are set in Italy. So the girls are actually from Canada, and they were actually like abducted because her father was basically like, yeah, he messed up, and he basically like sent the guy was like, well, I want your daughter to be my son's mafia mistress. That Fausto is the head couple of the mafia in Italy and the world, and he tells the heroine's father that he was like, well, I want your daughter to be my son's fiance. She's like, no. So she goes, he takes her from Canada to Italy. And it turns out that he's like, well, my son doesn't want you, so I'm going to have you. But you're going to be my mistress. That's why it's Mistress. Later on, they turn out to be like a real couple. And like not a real couple. Like, they try out to get married. So it evolves. The relationship evolves. There's a 2-book series, Mafia Mistress and Mafia. I think it's like Mafia something, Mafia Darling. It's the second book. So they're like, it's a duo. You have to read both sides, but it's delightful. She's held captive in this she's held captive in this castle in the state, and she's like trying to figure out how to get out of it. And then she has feelings for Forbidden, that ex-fiance has died. So it is delightful. So the next book from that series is Mafia Madman. And this one, she's held captive in a boat. So the heroine sister of Mafia Mistress is actually another Mafia princess. And she's in Italy during an internship in a fashion house. And the bad guy from the other book sees her and decides to take her as a collateral. So then the other couple can actually go fight. They're fighting among each other. And so she's held in a boat. He's held captive. This is below deck in a captive captor. And they actually start having feelings for each other. And then they resolve the situation. They're all like, it's like a lot of intrigue and stuff like that. But Enzo is like, he's just a hard guy. He's like, he should not redeem himself, but he does get redeemed in Mafia Madman. So, and he's a madman. He is crazy. So that's Mafia Madman. So the next book that I want to talk about. Sorry about that. The next book I want to talk about is Carnal by J.T. Geissinger. So this book, you don't have to read the first book, but you should know that set up in the first book. The heroine basically is friends with the heroine for the first book, and she uncovers this like mafia situation, and she makes it public. And one of the competing mafia plans from the first book, this one's an Irish mafia, the other one is Russian mafia. He kidnaps her, and she's like, I want to be her when I grow up, because she becomes friends with the captors. They love her. She's like nice. She's feisty. She fights the whole thing. And so he's like, well, I have to do something. So they get it on, and he's great. And she actually helps mend fences with the Russian mafia, the Irish mafia with the Russian mafia, and all the mafia are related. So this series is actually a fun series to listen to. Books are available from the library. They actually got picked by Traditional Publish. So the audiobooks are available from the library, and I think the actual physical books are available from the library. So you should be able to read this. It's Carnal by J.T. Geissinger. There's like 5 books in the series. They're fun. They're different. There's different mafia clans. There's Russian, Irish, I think Italian. So you get a little bit of everything. All right. The next one is set in Miami. It is actually a British one. So it's called The Brit by Jodi Malpas. So this one, she is sex trafficked. She's trafficked. She's been trafficked. And so she's actually trying to get some guy to get some dirt from some guy. And the head guy of the mafia, the Brit, basically sees her and takes her from the guy that she's trying to get dirt and kidnaps her. But so she's trying to figure out like all these different things. She's like she's been kidnapped multiple times, and she's trying to get out of it. And he's like so good. Like he's just like morally great hero. It's set in Miami. He's a Brit. This tells you his backstory, how he came about to take the phone, and how he takes down like these corrupt politicians that they're taking his stuff away. It's delightful. It's steamy. It's long. It's just really, really just like pushes the buttons. But check the trigger warnings. Obviously, there's a lot of things that are just like you don't want to see, but it is a delightful long book. It's actually a little bit longer, and there's a couple of books in the series, so it's the first book in the series, so you can like go down that rabbit hole. And it's set in Miami, so house cage, it's not just New York, it's not just Italy, it's actually set in Miami. Okay. The next one is one of my favorite ones, and it's a little bit different kidnapping situation. It's Posy, Ron. So this one had like the best wrestling and sex lessons that you can imagine. So Posy was dating the head mafia guy, and he actually kicks her out for some reason. And she's like, okay, well, I'm just going to go away. And then he's like, no, I want you. So he kidnaps her back. And she's like, you were terrible. And not just terrible as a boyfriend, you were terrible in that. And he's like, what do you mean? And so he definitely has to like figure out like his issues and try to like make her fall in love with him. It is a delicious danger, delicious sexual tension, delicious like on the run kind of deal. It is fun. It is a standalone mafia. You don't need to read other books in the series because there's no other book in the series. Cate Wells actually writes really good standalone romances, and so I have another recommendation, another episode from her. They're fun to read. So this is an adventure. This book is available on Kindle Limited. So yeah. So those are the six book recommendations of Mafia Captive Captor romances. If you liked more recommendations from Mafia romances, go to What to Read Next blog, and just search Mafia, and you're gonna find Surprise Pregnancy, Forced Marriage, Arranged Marriage, Captive Captor. I think I'm gonna have Mafia Princess. There may be an episode coming out soon. So there's plenty of episodes, there's plenty of opportunities, and these are Mafia recommendations are not just like typical ones that you typically hear. So my goal is to give you recommendations from like hidden gems for you to pick up and Kindle Limited and just indulge in. So I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you would like to get more recommendations, please join the newsletter at butcherinexblog/newsletter or go to whatronexblog.com for more book recommendations and more links. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great day.